So this is my first experiment, and I'm going to talk about what I did, how I made it, what's included, all the elements. I don't think it's mixed. I didn't mix it. So let's get started. So the first element is a sample that I got off of the internet, and actually from a sample kit that I used. So samples here from old games and stuff. So relevant to the genre, you'll see a lot of sampling from old games anywhere they can find samples that fit the genre. So let's play this first one. So that's the first element of the genre, plays for the first four, then repeats from 5 till 8. So it lasts 4 bars, and as you can see it's a sample but not audio. I converted it into MIDI via the EXS24, so I can just manipulate and just edit it better, much easier to navigate. As you can see, it looks like this. This plays for the first 4 bars, then throughout the whole 8 repeating. So that's the first element of this first experiment. Then comes the hi-hat, which is just 16th note pattern. It skips on this note where the snare lands. So this is also sampled from the same sample kit as samples and drum kit samples. So this is just another sample that I converted once again into the EXS24, just easier to manipulate, and yeah. So that lands 16th pattern, just misses on when the snare hits. So that's the second element of this first experiment, and it's just you punched it in using MIDI. I didn't play it in, just drew it in. Pencil tool. Then I went for this open hat using the Ultra Beat, which is just an old hip hop 90s kit. So I loaded that in the audio instrument, and that lands on the 4th beat of the first bar, 1st beat of the 2nd bar, and then once again 4th beat of the 2nd bar. Then it just repeats throughout this first experiment. As you can see, I'll play the hi-hats. And so to add like a bit more of a realistic feel, I changed the velocity of them just so it sounds more like humanised, because not everyone can play a perfect hi-hat at the same velocity every time. I don't think I did it. Yeah, I also did it for the open hi-hat. Then on to the 4th element of this first experiment is the snare. This just lands on the 3rd beat of every bar. I think it just repeats. Yep, just lands on the 3rd beat of every bar. Then there's a 2nd snare, which lands on the 1st beat of every bar. And this is on max velocity on this. Then there's a kick, the 1st beat, 2nd beat of the 2nd bar, 1st, 2nd of that bar, 1st, and then just repeats again for the last 4 bars. Then the bass, I didn't want to use the 808 bass, which is commonly found in this, because this is just more like a lo-fi sort of experiment based off like Lil Peep, and you won't hear. I thought an 808 wouldn't really suit this experiment very well, just because it sounds more realistic with a real bass other than a drum machine bass of the 808. Then I've done some research, which you'll find in the document linked to this experiment, and commonly used is ambience. So I decided that I would just go on a sample website and find a suited ambience that would go well with this. And I found this, which was recorded at London Waterloo Station. I'll just play it. It's just like a normal ambience. So it's just recorded, put a mic at Waterloo Station. Oh yeah, I didn't go over the notes of the bass. So there's that. So F first octave. So it's F, F. It's just F repeated. Maybe not. So oh no, it's F, A, F, C with the second octave. F again, then A, F, C, the second octave, and F. I think F major was the key of this. I'll go over this. So I was just left that in audio, it's just a sample. I didn't need to convert that to the EXS24. I don't know if I did any EQ. So I did do some EQ. So this is on the bass. Got rid of a little low end, boosted, more bass frequencies, cut out a bit of the high mid. And I think that's all for this first experiment and covered everything. So most of this has been sampled, as you can see. So this has been sampled. It's all under genre influence, which you'll see in the document linked to this experiment. And I think that's it for this first experiment.